Welcome to episode 86 of my 248k modded Factorio run on a ribbon world with a 10 times science multiplier and a kind of disappointed disco of death spiders who haven't had anything to shoot for a while, so we basically just use them as mobile radars now. Oh well, they can just sort of sit around by themselves. We've got things to build. We're basically doubling the base again, starting with this power grid, which is kind of a copy of power grids we've seen, so we kind of skipped it. There were some places where some tanks were that we got the cold oil in. Cold oil? Cold lead. But now all of these things just have their own loops in the same way. Turned out there was enough water out here to be able to have this entire power grid on the water, so the offshore pumps are just in the most convenient place, as you often do with a power grid. There's kind of space to drive trains through here if we want to go further. There's kind of space for more power grid here if we want to, if we want to go further. And they're complaining about not having these heat exchangers, so that's fine. And yeah, we recently doubled, increased the base from about 350 SPM to about 1,500, and then looked at how much science we had to do and realized that that wasn't enough either. So the power grid that we've just built is the first step towards doubling that again to maybe 3,000. Although at the moment, yeah, this isn't a full power grid extension yet. These guys should have speed 3 modules, and I don't have that many speed 3 modules at the moment, so they're all speed 1 modules. These exchanges should be crafting speed 2 to match the pair of big turbines, so we've only really got 70% of this thing added at the moment, and we're now looking at this number here is a lie because we are short a bit until we get these speed module 3s in. But whatever, we're not going to worry about it. We've got other things to build. We wanted a lot more beacon cores because we've got science to do, and we've also got star engine stuff to do. And then because this rail doesn't go anywhere, we've got to flick this train back to manual and reverse a bit before we can get back to the core. What was I building next? Was it it was going to be the beacon cores, but I also kind of want to swing back through. Yeah, I guess we swing past the things we blueprinted last time that are now mostly built but not running. And yeah, we've got to do the beacon cores because we want more yellow cubes to get more beacons to be able to double all of the builds, because we are currently super close to not having any more beacons to play with, despite the fact that we're trying to double builds. Yeah, these guys are not, they don't have their water yet, so we're not making the ceramics, but trains are dropping stuff off. In fact, maybe we should get the water in here sooner rather than later, because the train stations are already here, so trains are turning up, and they're just going to be sad forever until we put some water in here. Do I at least... Yeah, let's just... I guess we are going to do this just quickly. Let's have this guy be the water request station. With one train. This one is... Yeah, I think I've upgraded some of these water trains for no particular reason. I don't really need that much water that quickly, but we're going to have it anyway. Let's have... Okay, one of these power poles, and then we want to circuit condition this thing so we get 15,000 water out. For example, doesn't really matter. And then we've got to get this water in here somewhere. Do I have a pump? I do have a pump. Yeah, we won't power that pump yet, but we want to be able to get this stuff out of here. I mean, this is what it looks like when we're turning on these various bits of... Actually, you wait here, because I do have like another 3 sets of stuff that I would like to copy. So let's just grab 15,000 water from each of these, because yeah, those are all linked to their tanks. We should have enough. Oh, we don't have tanks. That's a bit of a disappointment. Okay, never mind. You just go back to here, and we will get rid of... I guess we could have used... I do have silos. Feels pretty bad using a silo, but never mind. Yeah, we're just gonna have this water in here, so at least some of these guys will run, so that we'll get some output, and then this train that's down here isn't complaining too much, and then these guys are all... Yeah, we'll come back and do that later. That's what that looks like when you get around to doing that. And then we've got the same We've got kind of the same thing, but not really. Didn't need to do that. Yeah, not really over here, because this fiberglass processing doesn't need water, so it's already running. It's complaining about not having the modules that I also didn't have elsewhere. And then the blue chips isn't running for multiple reasons. So it actually needs more ingots, but also needs water here as well. Do I still have that tank? No, I don't have that tank. Okay, so tanks and also Logibots. Also, Logibots are a thing I need to come and pick up before we make this blue chips work. We also need to snap it off the grid. I think everything is built enough now that we can actually snap it off the grid. But I don't actually think this is a thing I want to spend time on at the moment. I think we come back and do that later. That's just a thing we're going to build later. What we've got to build now are the beacon cores. Yeah, that's been there for a while. This is the same kind of power grid. This disaster over here is the other new thing that we built in between. Which actually, let's go back to the core first, because I need other things to bother doing anything with that yet. That is the new star engine setup that we are going to use for probably almost all of the iron and copper we need going forwards. And we need some stuff for this. We need... Oh yeah, so we've got 12 nuclear reactors, which is great. We've got only one more star engine, never mind. We've got some efficiency modules. We still need... Do I still need efficiency modules? Apparently yes. Okay. Yeah, let's go and find some more efficiency modules, and then let's go and talk about that stuff. I should have... Yeah, there was a point where I was using large amounts of efficiency modules in builds, and there still kind of is. Yeah, we're also trying to get speed modules. Base is still kind of short of both red and blue chips, and also blue science, which is an interesting one. Because we should be able to... Yeah, we should be able to basically double red and green science. Now, where is it? It's not there. It's over here. Yeah, we're going to run into issues with both engines and crystals, but we just happen to be in the position of needing more red and green science. So maybe we actually also just defer the crystals problem for later, but grab this thing and figure out where it can go. And this isn't something we necessarily need to snap off the grid yet, but maybe it can go... This is different. Oh, this is all different grid. Let's put it down here. Bots can have some fun building that for a while. I think they're going to run out of parts. They're not going to have all the things they need, but we are going to get around to... Yeah, somehow building more blue science. In the meantime, let's go and turn the other things on that we needed to. This is... I've got 12 of these, don't I? So we don't actually need... We can decrement the number of reactors we need. Actually, probably star engines. Given that I think it's red chips that we're short of. Star engines, wherever they are they down here somewhere? Yeah, down here. Probably just... Yeah, they're hogging a bunch of blue chips. Give me... Yeah, you can have... You can have some number of these, and then I will have the rest of them. Because somewhere there are going to be... Fission reactors, yeah, that are also just struggling for red chips, and we kind of need more of those. And in fact... This here... Yeah, this is... We don't need these train nuclear reactors at all now. We've got better trains. So you can just be unset, and then you can also be unset and give me all your stuff. And this assembler, maybe we use something else for it later. But I think we just, yeah, we've now got some more reactors. We've now up to 15 reactors, so this is nearly half of the capacity of that new node, which is kind of strange. I don't want any of these things. I think that's most of the stuff I don't want. Oh, Logibots was a thing that I wanted to do that I don't actually need yet, but we're going to need Logibots soon, so we'll grab them. Where is the build train? Build train is over there. You probably need to come back because we probably need to give you some more stuff for the red and green science build we just kicked off. But yeah, we've got to go over here to look at this. Actually, do I have beacons? I don't know if I have beacons. Let's not do that yet. Let's remember that we needed another thing, because I'm pretty sure there were also some holes in the beacons here as well. Yeah, we kind of need these beacons before any of this will run at speed, even though we don't really have... We can put another 4 beacons in. Cool. We should have beacons over here, though. One of these guys. Yeah, give me some of these beacons. Do I also... Is this the 16th one? This is the 16th. Okay, so that's pretty great, because we will be able to turn on a large amount of... Did the build train not hang around here? Was the build train just on a timer? At the main build it was just on a timer. Okay, interesting, sure. It's probably fine. Does that mean that I no longer have the beacon counts because... No, okay. I want to put in these... okay, that train was also a train that... okay, fine, we'll get it when it's waiting in the core. Yeah, we wanted to put in these beacons. I think this takes us up to exactly our beacon count, which is a bit rough. But now we're going to be pretty fine. Yeah, so this is... Where is this? I want my train back. The train that nearly ran me over on the way back to the core, but should now be sitting around here. And we wanted to bring it to this position here, and specifically not hit me. Thanks. Yeah, this much is the same star engine pattern we've been playing with for a while, based on this kind of blueprint, which is the same as these other star engines that are over here. Like this much of it is basically the same thing, except instead of turning it into metal on site, we're going to put things in a tank, and then yeah, this train can actually stay here, because this will protect me from being hit by any other train as I wander all the way up here. Yeah, it will. These tanks up here will be stations where we just have vast amounts of the star engine fluid metal turning up. What we do need to do, and what I don't have at the moment, is any... Okay, so I guess we are... Yeah, we've got to get these... Yeah, these are not requesting any nuclear fuel yet, and that's kind of an important part of it. So we'll request nuclear fuel here, and also... Okay, I guess we're doing this with a copy. And then these, yeah, this green circuit condition runs all the way up to the tanks and checks whether or not we have a large amount of iron. And then the one on this side is basically a copy of it, checking whether or not we have copper. And yeah, it was easier to have... It just lined up better for this lake and was easier for me to copy and paste 4 half star engines. Oh, I need this star engine down here. Yeah, 4 star engines than it was to copy and paste 2 whole star engines. So we're going to put that thing in there. These guys... Do you have logistic spots? You have 3 logistic spots. But also, some of you guys, if you have logistic spots, should be bringing... yeah, so these places here were where we previously had big fission power plants, like a 2x3 version of this thing, except we got rid of the train station that was requesting nuclear fuel because we got rid of the fusion power plant. So we've got to go and find one of these nuclear fuel requesting train stations and put it here. That looks like a fine place, and then those 2 don't need to exist, and then do bots actually have... bots are complaining about not having combinators. This shouldn't need a combinator. Oh no. If bots are complaining about not having combinators, that's probably at the... Am I in this train? Yes. Okay, so that's probably in this new blue science build, which could be a bit of an issue, because it means if the build happens and it doesn't have combinators, the trains that will be bringing materials might just never turn off. Do I have combinators? Why do I not have combinators? Okay, so I kind of need to go back to the main grid and, yeah, get these combinators. And the irony is I came back here to build these combinators myself, and then didn't have the combinators. I have since built the train stations. So trains are going to be turning up here to deliver this stuff. This train station down here also didn't get built. Cool, cool. Yeah, this train here is now not going to turn itself off properly. So we're going to go back to the core, We're going to get some combinators. Yeah, we're going to have all of these beacons not actually work, but that's kind of fine. Yeah, we want combinators. Combinators are going to be over here, somewhere in this, yeah, in this box. A bunch of combinators, that's fine. Let's get back to this new blue science build, and then not to the core. And then we will run around, build those combinators. Trains are still going to turn up here and deliver resources, but I don't think I mind that at all, even though most of this won't run particularly quickly. I think that's all kind of fine. Do I have enough train? I do still have enough train stations to go and build the other train. Okay, that's good. At least all these train stations will now turn off once they get their material, so that's nice. But we needed to go and build this train station. This is actually the most time-dependent thing we've got going on at the moment, is getting this nuclear fuel in so that these star engines can turn on. I actually want to go up here and then grab this star engine back, because we're not putting in this reactor yet, so we're not really using the star engine. I would like to remember that star engine would like to be there, and then we're going to drop the star engine over here where we have built it on the copper side. So bots can turn back on, so we can build all the stuff. Build the star engine, thanks. And now, depending on how many... Oh yeah, depending on how many logistics bots this network has. I don't think it was many, was it? Yeah, so these grids are also still separate, but only just. There's a couple of roboports through the middle of this thing, and all of this stuff. Yeah, other advantages of this new star engine build doing its star engine stuff is... Yeah, we fully emptied that, that's fine. You can have another 150 logistics robots. Yeah, this... 30 seconds, whatever. All of the star engine stuff, because we're no longer putting the builds in the same place as the star engines, we can have these fuel requests just on the main grid, which is fine, and then also we can just train this star engine fluid over. In fact, let's go and start setting that up now, because we can, because we have fluid wagons for this. We are somewhat prepared. Let's just wander through here. Yeah, because this... Actually, we can do better than that. We can get rid of this. We can go to the station that I have ambitiously called Outrageous Iron Forever, which I should probably justify having named such a ridiculous thing. But basically, it's because each of these star engines, like we've talked about, these guys are spinning up. Yeah, these guys are slowly spinning up. They'll be fine. And we've talked about these things previously spitting out 500... What if I can get down here, and or maybe not through there, 500 iron per second, or copper per second for the copper version, with a 1-to-1 recipe to plates. So this is basically 11 plates, 11 blue belts worth of plate per star engine, of which we have just added 4. So we've added 44 blue belts of iron plate, which... I mean, that's probably going to be all I need, and I don't think my UPS will handle needing even more than that. And then we've also got the same on the copper side. We've got another 44 blue belts of iron copper that we've just added once we build all the parts, which is a pretty outrageous expansion of... Like, I think that might be the largest volume of materials I've ever added at once. To any base. Yeah, and so these guys are going to... Actually, did we sit running the bottom two, and then this one pumps to the second tank. I kind of would have preferred for tank balance, like, we're going to pile the stuff into the front 2 tanks because these 2 are the pumps that are currently going to deliver stuff, but eventually we'll have a different pump line from a star engine into each of these, but it also won't matter. We'll be making so much that it just won't matter. we are not anywhere near using these yet. And then, yeah, these fluid wagons also have a storage volume of 200,000, which is also outrageous. So I might not, I mean, there is space to put a stacker in if I wanted to. I just don't know that I'm going to need that yet. So we're not going to. These trains are going to get a lot done for quite a while. And yeah, that is the justification for calling these outrageous and forever. In fact, I think I am probably going to, especially with these trains being faster, I am not even worry about giving this any more than 2 trains for the moment. But what we should do is, you know, have some other station that can receive these star engine fluids. Did I even put a... I did not. Yeah. You guys need to be doing a full to empty thing. Yeah, have some other stations that can actually receive this star engine fluid, which still, yeah, this is why this is the most time-dependent thing, because it does just take a while to get enough heat in here to kick off all these thermochemical separators. But also, I also didn't give the second version their fuel request, so let's just grab all of this, and this copy should be the same because that's how copying and pasting works. And now these guys should get their fuel, and yeah, we will have vastly more star engine fluid than we need, because we've got a lot of star engines over here. We've got another train station to rescue all of the tritium and deuterium and stuff like that, which I think I've got a lot of now, and no particular plans to do anything with it. Yeah, the tritium is actually full, which is a bit of an issue because that means we're not going to be pumping. I think this pump only checks whether or not we have more deuterium than tritium in order to do this research, and then everything else is just ending up in... Yeah, this is also full, which is nice because we need that for the fusion that makes the steam for red chips, but I think I need to make... Yeah, I think I need to make this fusion go to turn this deuterium and tritium into more fusion tech, even though I'm not short of fusion tech at all. It is running down, though, so more fusion tech probably a good thing. Yeah, just to make space to be able to receive all the deuterium and tritium. I think we do that maybe second or third, because the thing we wanted to do first was, yeah, down here... things we wanted to do with all that new power grid. Number 1, a bunch more star engines to expand all our processes. Number 2, this here beacon stuff. Because we have, yeah, this is the new beacons core build. We've got all the beacon cores built. We've got all the buildings done, but we don't have the train stations, and we don't have the requests. And do I have 9 train stations? A bunch of things. I don't have stack inserters. All the stack inserters are probably already here, so that's probably fine. Yeah, okay. So we're just going to, yeah, continue with... Oh, wait. First thing we need to do is we need to snap this off the build first. It's pretty important that when we add these train stations... Yeah, when we add the train stations that will bring all the materials that we want for these things, that we do not accidentally have those requests and also these active providers dump stuff in the logistics network of the rest of the ribbon. We want to isolate. Yeah, so this thing now is a sad little thing by itself. This is also why we have a bunch of logistics bots. And now we want to grab from the other beacon setup, which is mostly pretty happy. Hopefully they get some more red chips sometime. There's a bunch of train stations in here that we want. There's train stations down here. There's train stations for the uranium over that side. We did move, like, and this is going to line up with the grid, but yeah, the cores don't quite line up. And then also some of the tanks and things like that. We're getting some extra ghosts around because we moved some of these buildings to be able to get more of the correct kinds of providers in. So now we've got to do all of that slightly differently. The other thing is, do I not have... Oh, I guess this is still... Yeah, this is still in the build range of the main grid. So we've got main grid bots turning up to do that, which is fine. All of these things, yeah, these other bot actions are things I'm hearing that we don't actually need anymore. Like this one is also from an older way of doing things. And then over here, yeah, we've got these two things, which is fine. Bots, whatever. I think at some point I also had a new recipe to play with for these guys. Like, these are currently on... They're currently on recipe 3, and recipe 4 doesn't require crystals, which is not something I previously cared about, but I think I care about quite a lot now, because crystals is one of the things that blue science is short of. So actually, I think we want to run up here and find the blue crystal station. Yeah, get rid of this crystal station, reconnect the green chips to this thing, because it's important that the green chips check that it has enough stuff and then turn that off. And then, yeah, we want all of these things to do the recipe that doesn't require crystals, which is, and then I think this one is the same, isn't it? Yeah, so this is going to dramatically reduce the number of crystals we need, probably? I don't actually know what proportion of our crystals this takes versus not takes, but I think also up here, these guys are also the version that, yeah, we're putting a bunch of crystals on the ground. So I think this is also... I think I can get rid of this crystal station as well, because the crystals at the moment are one of, yeah, the weird things that we are not really, like, we haven't really boosted the crystals production in a while, but we have attempted somewhat to boost the blue science, and so now there's a bunch of crystals on the ground. Let's find this thing. Let's go item on ground. I don't have the bots near there at all, do I? Like, these guys don't have any construction bots, and so this all just won't happen. But also I need to get rid of that station. Yeah, do we have... and then these cores are not turning on yet because we don't have all of the things we need, which is not surprising. There's another train station over here, which won't be getting... we're going to call this Beacon Science B, because we need to specify a train, go to one of these and then the other. We also need more red chips in here. That was the thing I was going to do, wasn't it? Yeah. Because we are still kind of short on red chips as well. That is a thing we need to expand at some point. Previously, I beaconed these red chips down the middle after replacing the other beacons with them, then realized that that obviously didn't work because these beacons won't jump the two belts to hit the thing. So we've got some more beacons on the outside, which aren't as good, but we also don't have modules here. So if we get rid of these ones in the middle, we'll free up the modules to beacon these red chips a bit more. But also, yeah, we're just also generally short, and then the same thing down, yeah, these guys, though, those never worked today, never mind. Being short on red chips is a bit of a thing, and I think at the moment, like, the space science will kind of turn off by itself when we have enough. And yeah, the purple and yellow science is also just backing up, which is why we're also going to be expanding these sciences first, in particular the blue science. But also, I think we're still just launching these rockets and banking more ore, and I don't think we need to at this point. I think we can... I would rather at this point... This one is round and pink, blue, red. Which of these is the rockets that... It's the red rocket that, yeah, it's the red rocket that produces the deep space ore that I just don't need yet. So I think we're going to suspend all of that for the moment, which means that these things will back up on RCUs, which also means that these guys will produce a bunch of satellites, but not actually launch them, which means these should back up as well, which means hopefully I have... because the other thing that's quite important is, yeah, we're not using any of these beacon cores for their module effects. All the module effects are back over here, with the station that doesn't actually have any red chips in them at the moment, and this is kind of the most important red chips station in the entire base. So let's find a partly full red chips train. Yeah, this is yeah, never mind. and you can wander all the way over to this station. Yeah, these are all the guys on the ground that are complaining. If you come there, so if you turn up here and then go to a red chips request, you should be able to get to here and then pull into this red chip station and hopefully deliver those red chips before that node runs out of red chips, because having red chips, kind of important to make sure the rest of the base turns over. And we also just have, yeah, the other disadvantages of this plan. There's now a red chip station, which is probably easier for trains to get to than the more important one that they should be going to. So that's a thing. So anyway, we're going to, yeah, let's do this with a train. I wanted to go over here just to get rid of the other crystal station. And I guess we also pick some of these crystals up off the ground at the same time. I won't need crystals there at all, which is fantastic. You still want to be on the Roboport grid. And then there's also just a bunch of extra crystals just not doing much, and also quite an unhappy bot queue. Why? Yeah, I guess it's just a storage thing. Yeah, there's a bunch of extra crystals to pick up at some point, which I'm not going to deal with yet. There's also these requests, which we're also not going to deal with yet. We'll just make those go away in between episodes. They're not going to be super interesting. But the thing we did want to do is I still want to be down here, because this is where I need to configure stuff. But we want to check whether or not, yeah, these guys are now getting, yeah, quite large amounts of iron on a train, and also quite large amounts of copper on a train. So that's nice. We want to take, I guess, this pattern, because that copper is going to be the copper we use to get copper in here for these guys, which is between that and the red chips, the reason why these other beacon cores aren't working yet. So how much space do I need for that? About this much space? I mean, I need to line it up with the rail first. Do I have... yeah, here's a corner of rail that I can use. And yeah, that was not actually in the right place for the rail, but whatever. It's fine. This can not fit there because of the pole, so I guess we're going here. I guess we're going to move it the other way. Things that are also fine. Okay. Do I need... I don't even think I need that much copper here. I don't think it's going to be... not like that. I don't think it's going to be a big deal at all. I think what we do instead is we get the lithium delivery pattern that we're using for all of the power plants, which doesn't cache as much material, but will still cache, you know, 200,000 material, which is fine. And we grab this pattern. Actually, I think this needs to be around the other way, doesn't it? Not that way. I should also figure out where a station is going to go. That's kind of more important than figuring out where this... yeah, we kind of need to... oh, did I happen to get that in exactly the right place. That's nice. But then I also think that, yeah, this I think we actually want to... we need to... because the idea of this in the other spot is we'd rather just have one tank. Okay. Then I guess we're also pumping it out of here. Yeah, sure. I'd rather just have one tank that we are checking. And we don't need to be getting that much lithium in the other case, but I think this here is the much better pattern for managing the flow between these. Yeah. Oh, that is the right way around. It is pumping into the further tank. I was just swapping around because I wanted to be checking the closer tank, and this setup for the lithium checks the further tank. Yeah, but I think this is also going to give us some other interesting problems over here, because, like, this is going to be... this is going to be our first request for the new outrageous source of star engine fluid copper. But the thing is, with this setup, I'm going to have a train turn up here with 4 wagons with 200,000 copper each. And so if I just have this pump in here to concentrate everything in this tank, these two wagons aren't going to be able to unload because this silo tank only has a capacity of 5. So I think we say, yeah, copper less than 50,000, which is still a lot of copper plates. And then we also rate this pump to pump in if... Can I copy from a station to a pump? I can, but this one wants to be less than 100,000. So yeah, so this tank will empty into this tank, and by the time a train turns up, this tank will be empty, and this tank will have less than 50,000 in it, but also won't pump any more in if there's more than 100,000, which means there'll always be the 400,000 capacity for the... Yeah, I think that's going to work out fine. We just need to get a train. I have also just noticed that my personal train, is in the way. So we want to get one of this train here. Wants to be add station requesting outrageous copper, and we can just go full to empty. We don't need to worry about any other pauses anywhere because they don't need fuel. And yeah, this train isn't full, but it's fine. This one, I mean, we need to add both of these because otherwise one of them will block the other. Where is please outrageous copper? Full to empty. Yeah. So those guys are going to be fine. Eventually, I mean, yeah, we are not using 11 blue belts of material here, so we don't even need to worry about how much, like the rate at which those star engines will be making stuff. What we do need to do is get some red chips here. Did we at least get red chips over here? We did not get red chips over here. Or at least we've used them all already. So that's a mild inconvenience. Let's try that again. Blue chips and red chips. And yeah, which of you trains has a lot of stuff? You both kind of have a lot of stuff. Could you please go... I mean, red chips were also one of the things we needed to build a lot more of. Could you just go here? And then to somewhere requesting red chips. I mean, this is... Yeah, you are at least... Yeah, that station is active, and it is the red chips request station. And we kind of need to get red chips in there before this Ki3 energy runs out, because those beacons and their speeds are kind of things that are, yeah, making sure we get all of the beacons that are doing things like making the red chips work. Yeah, it is this one. It is this beacon pattern, yeah. But then I also want one of these guys, let's say this one, to also swing through the... Is it here? Yeah. To swing through... And I think this should work. Hopefully this works. Hopefully they get to this waypoint, they say, let's find a station requesting red chips. This one is hopefully the easiest to get to, and so they choose it. Maybe it works like that. In the meantime, we don't need any of these things, because these were the crystal requests that are just not a thing anymore. And then, yeah, we've also got still chests. Yeah, I guess we could just get rid of these guys. We won't need those either. But we do need to figure out how to get this copper in somewhere. I think we're just going to put a thing... Can we put it, like, here? Why do I not have... Do I not, after all that, have assemblers? I don't have assemblers? Ah, I had assemblers and then I ran through... You guys still have not... I mean, maybe the train is a long way away. I ran through the other Blue Science build and put all my assemblers there. Cool. Okay. I guess we are going... I mean, let's figure out where the rest of these fluids are going to go. Actually, we can have... Yeah, we can have... We don't even need those kind of pipes. We can just go straight underground like so. That is strictly better. And then we can have, yeah, double stack inserter, double So this here is going to be the assembler that we use to turn this copper into copper plates, and I don't think I'm going to struggle. Oh, do you guys have logistics bots? Yes. I don't think I'm going to struggle for copper throughput at all. Where are these? Have these trains? Okay, good. So the beacon cores are getting... Yeah, I might have to manage that. I might have to continue to manage that. I was kind of hoping that the main science is shutting off because I was kind of low on blue science, and especially purple science and the space science slowing down, and then not launching any of the exotic ore rockets would help me back up on red chips a bit, but it might not. I did want more stack inserters. I don't think I need any of them. No, I think we can just go and get that thing built now. Then what are you guys waiting on? You're waiting on... what is that? Is this a... Oh, this is a weird... That's a strange artifact from a different part of a different build that I don't think we need at all. So we're just gonna... let's at least go to the beacon core first. Because I'm worried about, yeah, dropping all of my assemblers into the other build that I don't really want to be building. The thing we really want to build right now is that thing. So we can change the recipe to Star Engine recipes, make a copper plate. That way. And you're running, which is nice, and we can actually Gauss module this thing. Which I think might be the new plan for all the assemblers that are making copper plates from the Star Engine fluid source. Like, it doesn't really make a huge difference to be Gauss moduling all of these assemblers, because these are just tied to this Star Engine, which is making all the stuff anyway. Like, I'm not short here, and making these assemblers more efficient doesn't mean that any other build gets more stuff. Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with these fusion parts, aren't we? Whereas the ones we're now putting down, because this is, like, this will reduce the rate at which well, this will give me a 20% productivity over the 88 belts of material we just added. Okay, so this is actually a plan to increase my total base's iron and copper capacity by 88 blue belts plus 20%, which is pretty wild. Am I capturing... I'm not actually capturing any extra number of module 1s, and I think I would like some number of module 1s rather than just converting them all to module 2s. So we still... we have... Oh yeah, so we've got red chips over here. All these guys are running, which is fine. All of these will be running as soon as... So all of these are running, so we should now be able to come back at some point and see all these module cores spin up, and then get more yellow cubes, which is great. They're going to be what we need. And then I think the build here is... So I think we've done 2 of the things that we needed to. This copper is kind of online. This beacon core is kind of online. Let's go back here and check on what this new build needed. Yeah, we don't want any of these things in here. That one can stay there. Okay, so they were also waiting on cliff explosives, and then also waiting on module 3s, but then also we don't have these beacons at all yet, and we also don't need them yet because what are you guys... Why are you guys not processing engines? Interesting. What I was going to do is... Oh yeah, I also don't really have... I don't really have speed 3 beacons at the moment either, do I? So that is also a fun thing. We're just going to give these... This spacing is such that I can give these regular speed beacons. It would be good if these were speed 3s. They're not. Actually, the blue and red science I'm not short on, so it doesn't matter. The blue science is the one that I need to be speed 3, but also I just need engines. Let's check on engines, because I'm pretty sure I extended engines in between, but maybe just not in a way that mattered. Yeah, like, this belt here used to be where all the ceramics were going. I wanted to... I mean, upgrading it wouldn't be particularly great because these inserters will struggle to get things from red undergrounds that are moving quickly. So instead we've gone ceramics around the outside, fast inserters. All of these guys should be running full time now. We got some other belt upgrades, and we are just not at the point of having... Is this going to go to the new... This is going to go to the new build, and that will get everything turned on. Yeah, we're just not at the point of... Is it? No, there's belt capacity as well. There is output belt capacity. We're just not making enough engines yet, which is also why we've got these... Yeah, those are still fully working. Also why we've slightly remodeled the engines to just get more stuff out. Maybe we rebuild the engines as well. Hopefully the crystals change we've just done means that we're not struggling for the amount of crystals we have. Okay, but we also need to get... Yeah, I wanted to get this upgrade planner the other way around, because this bit of the grid probably has speed module 3s sitting around in the mall, even if I don't. And then, yeah, then we're going to presume that that build is fine enough-ish. And we're going to go and like figure out the next thing we want to build. We do want to find... This train probably wants to go back to the core. And then I want to give it beacons that I need here. It should find enough speed modules. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't have speed 3 modules in the small either. Doesn't have the prod 3 modules. Maybe that's because it just upgraded. I also didn't leave a radar, so that was a cool trick. Yeah, give me all of these. Yeah, you're gonna wait here until we give you the stuff you need, but I probably could have done that before you left anyway. You can have speed 3 modules, a bunch of beacons. You are now also getting, yeah, the prod 3s. Yeah, that's probably everything you need. You can now go back over here and get the rest of that build finished. It's probably fine. I've got 8 more of these and another star engine. Sure, let's, I kind of didn't want to clear that request, but never mind. Yeah, let's go and build. We're now going to presume that this is going to take care of itself, and we're going to wander all the way. I think I want to do the other... Okay, so I can't really do the copper one because I don't have these 2 beacons. These 2 beacons have already been placed. I'm not even going to worry about that, actually. What we're going to do is go back over to the new blue chips, but also remember that the new blue chips didn't have something. But I don't remember what that something was. It was ingot makers. Okay, got to find 3 ingot makers. Do I still have the... Yeah, so we're getting some amount of... Yeah, that's kind of fine. Do we have... I no longer have the train station over there. Ah, I did need more tanks. That is a good thing to remember to need. So I want some of these, and then what is this? That's still just requesting speed modules. We are still short of red chips. And then I wanted ingot makers. Are ingot makers in this? This one is ingot makers, isn't it? Yep. Like another 6 of those, whatever. I'm probably going to get 12 because I think that's the small... Oh no, 8. 8 is the smallest number that bots will deal with. A lot of train stations. A lot of pumps. A lot of... I think this is everything I need. How many... I don't know how many request chests I need, but I'm pretty sure that actually 7 might not be enough train stations either. To get the rest of this new blue chips build running, which is going to be, you know, a super fun thing for when we decide that we're kind of already short of red chips. More logistic spots. Okay, not that many logistic spots. Yeah, when we discover that... Why are you guys stuck? You're trying to get through here, which is fine. Ah, that's super interesting. It was this... Yeah, it's because I don't have a train station in here, so this train couldn't deliver because the train that was here was blocking this section. And that is actually an interesting failure mode of this intersection here, but I don't think we're going to worry about it. I think having got that nuclear fuel train out of the way, hopefully we don't have... Because all these other train stations are just going to pull in here, drop their stuff off. This blockage hopefully clears now, and we're basically just not going to worry about it. And hopefully that didn't cost me any research time. I think I have been at 56% for a while, haven't I? we are stopped because of... Oh, we're actually stopped because of blue science. That kind of thing we were looking at is actually an issue. So let's cruise over to this new blue chips build, which is going to make our red circuit problem worse, and see if we can find out... it's now crystals. Okay, so one of these blue chips builds has crystals but not engines, and then the other blue chips build, the other blue science build, has both, but is not... This is actually, yeah, this is also a secondary station, isn't it? So I think we just call this also B, because we've got to schedule trains to that differently, because we kind of wanted to go to one place and then the other, and then we're going to see if we can find the crystals train, which is... Oh, it's on its way somewhere. And yeah, this train should not be waiting here. This train should be... Yeah, I did decrease the amount of bonus ore I was processing, but... And we have, like, beaconed this differently to get more crystals out. But the crystals issue is actually that we've got more leftover ore that we're not processing quickly enough, rather than not getting enough crystals. So that's an interesting thing that we'll also think about dealing with sometime, but then not. This is still part of the main grid, so these guys should turn up with... Yeah, the main grid bots should turn up with those Stokes 2 modules. Okay, so let's now... Which is... This is the water feed for the gold processing? Yes. So I think we're going to throw a train station over here, and then this is going to be the one-off water request. And then we need just one, yeah, really only one tank of water out. And I still don't have those power poles, but that's okay, because I have these power poles. And then this also wants to be water less than, let's say 20,000 this time. It doesn't really matter as long as it's less than 25, as long as it's... I mean, to be honest, even a full tank, if this tank were full, there would still be enough internal buffers in all of these things to make sure that the purifier could get output. But also not going to worry about it. And yeah, these we would need to, yeah, only one of these water trains actually goes to the temporary one-off water station. But also, some of these, but not others, are upgraded to the super fast tankers, which is almost certainly not necessary. And also because these things are... Yeah, we fill at the rate of the tanks to, like, these trains fill almost immediately because we've got enough here in these tanks to immediately fill a wagon, but over here we are back at the rate of filling a tanker at the rate of the offshore pumps, which actually doesn't matter because we don't need that much water. But yeah, I don't think I need that many of these trains at all now, and could probably just do it with one line and reorganizing the pumps differently, but never mind, we're not going to worry about that. We are going to worry about how we get this water in, because this is one of the things that determines... That pump is unpowered, which is good, and then I think down here, for this stage, I want another pump here, which should immediately be powered. And at some point, yeah, here's a tanker that turns up, it's fine. We get disabled by controller behavior, which is also fine. You can go back there. This train station doesn't need to exist anymore. These two power poles don't need to exist. We can pump out of this thing. And then we've got water in this temporary slot. Okay, great. The next thing to do is pull this thing, pull this blue chips node off the main grid so we can give it its own Logibots. Is that enough? Something is still connected somewhere. That's the left-hand side. So all of these ones down this side also needed to be removed. Yeah, they're just slightly overlapping with these smaller Tier 1 rubber ports. Okay, so we do this, And these guys still have both construction and logistics bots. Yes, these guys have 2 construction bots. Somewhere they've got construction bots. That's fine. Is it in any of these? No. I would like to have those 2 I've already got a couple. It doesn't really matter. Okay, you can have a bunch of logistics bots. And then we need to copy this train station again to get all of the train stations and their names so that we can start requesting materials to... Yeah, so we want all of these. Do I actually want the train fuel one? I don't know if I want the train fuel one. We can line these up here. Train fuel. I'm going to get rid of the train fuel request. Are we going to... I think we do still... I mean, we are still fueling these things the same way. We're also requesting red chips, but this is the furthest red chips request in the base, even past these 2 beacon settings. So we might not get any red chips here for a while, which I think I'm also probably okay with. Oh, we also needed... Yeah, I took out all the request chests as well, didn't I? When they were on different grids, etc. So let's grab all of that much of this thing, which should just fit in... Where? What are we looking at? Yeah, these are... This is the... There. And yeah, now this is why I didn't know if I had enough request chests, because we do need a lot of request chests for this. So this should solve our blue chips problem. It might make our red chips problem worse, but that's fine. These guys, the trains just won't get... Yeah, trains just won't get fuel here, but I think I'm giving them fuel in enough other places that I don't even think I mind. So we needed the acid station and then also the requests on the other side of the blue chips. So yeah, we are doubling our blue chips, which is great. We like that. We need this much of all of these train stations. We don't actually need this train station because it's the uranium train station, which we're not actually worrying about at the moment. But we can slot all that stuff in here except for that bit of rail. And now we are requesting acid, which is good. And then we do need 2 other stations, because the thing we don't have... Yeah, so this is the other reason why this blue chips is kind of not near any water, is because we've got a different star engine plan for getting all of that iron and copper in here, of which we do have the iron and copper. We just also now need some train stations for the new trains we've thrown in to also... It does some damage to my structures, not really that much damage. I need some new way of getting... Let's also do large train stations this time. Let's do full-size trains. In fact, if I do large train stations with double pumps, I don't think the trains are going to need to stop by very often, which means I think I can just do a quite nasty hack of 1 train station. Do I not have rail? Do bots have rail? Bots have some amount of rail. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I can do just 1 train station. I mean, should I? Probably not, but we're going to do the same thing we kind of did with lead coolant in a couple of places, where we are going to have this 1 train station. Let's also do this with train station first, I guess. There is where one of them can go, yeah. And then we can have... This is 2 pumps per wagon, which is also going to unload super quickly, which is nice. Where is this actually? Oh, we are going to have... Then we're going to have a pump. This actually all could have been moved to the left a bit, couldn't it? So I guess we make that a little more concise because we can. We can put it like here. Sure. That can go there. That's all still in the main... Is that in the main grid? Some of it... Okay, so this rail is in fact not in the main grid. That's gonna be a thing. Never mind. Yeah, because we do need... we need this thing to be powered, but I was kind of also hoping that we would reach one of these other... Yeah, okay, never mind. We're going to need this train station again, and we're going to need it like further down here or something, but it also kind of doesn't matter where. I also want... I'm sure the acid train... actually, that doesn't work at all, does it? I was going to take these rail things and then undo this and have the bots put it back, except this stuff is not in the main railgrid, so that won't work. In fact, the mall is just up here. I just moused over this box to figure out how much rail it was. The easiest way to do this is to not worry about whether or not there's any trains coming, and just run over here and grab this rail. That's the easier way to do that. Just straight up easier. And then we can build all of this stuff, which is fine. And then we want... is there any particular way... This one could be the copper station. One train. Request some outrageous copper. That other train we're going to talk about in a moment. I'm not happy that the acid train is sitting there in the way that it is. Please, outrageous copper. Yeah, so we're going to get a bunch of copper here, and then we want to circuit condition this here, but because we've got 4 tanks, we can have this when copper... Where's copper? Copper is less than, say, 150,000. Which is a lot, which is nice. But that will also... I mean, we could actually say 250,000. But I don't think I'm going to be in need of that much copper. Are we? Yeah, so we're producing gold, which is nice. We've got this acid. This acid train sitting here means that we are not producing enough acid. So maybe petrochems is a thing we look at significantly. We need to change up in the future. This doesn't want to be please outrageous copper. This wants to be please outrageous iron, and we just need to change it before the train gets here, and then we'll go back into it to... Oh yeah, we don't have the condition yet because we haven't actually connected it to the tank. Yeah, not copper. We want... Is this one the iron? This one is the iron. Yeah, cool. And then we are also pumping out of these tanks. Where did this... this pipe here is in fact the old copper supply, and then somewhere in here there is a pump that is the old... What went in here? Oh, that was the copper supply. Okay, things we don't need anymore. We don't need the copper from this side because we're not doing it like that. We do need iron pumped in here. What was... I don't even know why that signal is there. Some of these guys, yeah, we are moving trains through here, so we kind of need to worry about getting hit by things, but we're also not going to. It's just fine. Why? Oh yeah, because these 2 iron trains, it's not that way, it's actually this way. These 2 iron trains didn't... That was the first station we set up, so these trains don't have their request yet. Yep. Full to empty. Go and do that, and then this one also wants to be the same. Please outrageous iron, also to empty. And we now have... Yeah, we've just got a lot of iron. We've got so much iron. And then also wanted to add to this station name an icon for... Why did I not get the... I guess, yeah, we changed the circuit condition, but not the station icon, which is fine. Okay, so if you can get some red chips, I would like to... so we're putting iron in boxes, which is great. Oh, did you ever get logistics bots? You did get logistics bots, that's good. I don't know if you got enough logistics bots, but we'll worry about that later. This is where the old iron supply was, which is also not a thing anymore. We need to make sure we get copper in here instead. And I'm not even going to worry about pumps for throughput here, because this thing is going to do at most 500 a second, because that was what we were doing at the other blue chips node. So over here we just need to have this pump out, and then a couple of pipes, and then do we have... Yeah, you're actually... Oh, we have had a red chips. Ah, we also needed all of the request boxes in the middle of the build. That's the thing that we don't have yet, which I have some number... I'm not going to have enough request boxes for this, am I? What are you... Oh, you're the surplus greens as well, so we've actually got some extra green chip production here as well, which is exciting. But we want to go back to the blue chips build, and this hopefully will turn the blue chips build on completely. Oh, did the... I think I probably also need these request boxes, don't I? So let's grab all of this much of this thing. And how many logistic spots do you have? Yeah, there are nearly 200 logistic spots full-time, which I think means I need to bring a couple more logistic spots. And I probably also need to bring... I do need more request chests. So let's go, I guess, as the last thing we're doing, because we're kind of at episode length, I think, maybe. Have we done some things today? We've done some things. Have we actually... We're still at... Oh no, we're up at 59% of our exotic science. Of our exotic stabilizers. Yeah, which is the other reason why I don't really mind suspending the buffering of deep space ore, because I kind of don't have, like, this is the first tech that lets me do a thing with it, but it lets me create exotic matter stabilizers, but I also can't really do anything with the exotic matter stabilizers until I've got the next million science to get the black holes, but then the black holes aren't really all that useful until I've also got the white holes. And then I even don't really know what I'm using these things for at this point. But the point being, I don't really mind suspending the satellites that were just buffering space ore, because I would at the moment rather have all the red chips for things like these beacons, which need to be making all their cubes and making all the beacons go fast, and then also these beacon cores, which need to be, you know, going nice and fast and making all these cubes, and then this train is actually not visiting the same place at the moment, is it? So let's go and do that as well. Do I have... I do have another train. I needed... Things I needed a bunch of request boxes. So let's do that. And then I needed a bunch of logistic spots, of which there are not many. I wonder if there's some... Maybe I can find some unused logistic spots over by the sciences. Apparently I'm still... Oh yeah, I am still launching rockets because I do still want to be getting the data cards, because the data cards are what let me upgrade modules. But I was going to do that differently as well. I wanted to change this train. Yeah, these we don't need anymore. And then, having already replaced the suspension wagon, I should be able to find that this is, yeah, still got the schedule. So yeah, there's an interesting thing about the weights of these trains versus the weights of normal carriages, which we're going to look at briefly. Yeah, so the acceleration power of these diesel trains is actually a lot larger than the acceleration power of the suspension trains, but the thing is, the weights for the suspension trains are much smaller, whereas the weights of these diesel trains are, like, yeah, several tons each, which means it's not really great to be trying to mix these kinds of trains, but that's okay because we want to be doing all this stuff anyway. And then we also wanted to add Beacon Science B. I don't think this wants to be 600 seconds. Actually, it doesn't matter, does it really? Why is this 68? What a weird number. 30. 30 is going to be fine, and then this one is also going to be time past 30. And then... which way? Which way is a better way to visit those two beacon sciences? This one's coming back and then also going up. This one is... How will it get... It actually is better to be going... It's slightly better to be going Beacon Science B and then Beacon Science A. But only just, and it's not going to make a huge deal. But we will be getting... Yeah, and this... There's a big red cube surplus at the moment because there were a couple of techs that were... yellow cube only that we went through, whereas now we need both, but we've got a lot more red than yellow, so I don't mind getting more yellow cubes. And then, yeah, other things we're going to, hopefully the last things that we need to do. Firstly, I wanted to go to the module upgrade section. And I'm still 501 beacons. I wonder which beacon isn't working. I don't think I'd built that many beacons, but never mind. Yeah, first thing, I think we are also going to get rid of... Yeah, we don't need... We've got way more of this stuff than we need, so we're going to free up some of our beacon capacity, but we're going to go put them back later when we need it. But the main reason I was here is I wanted some number... Actually, let's do... Can I do that? I want to cache some number of these Stokes 1 modules, because... Yeah, these 4 Stokes 5 modules are... Well, Gauss 5 modules are great, but those 4 modules are 24 Gauss 4 modules, which would still let me get more stuff out, because... Actually, this is a good point. You don't have any Gauss modules? Yeah, I kind of want these Gauss modules, because the thing we were building, the blue chips over here, is using the new... outrageous perpetual supply of iron and copper from water that is worth Gauss moduling, but then also speed beaconing. I think I have to speed those up to get any decent rate of stuff out, and it just happened with the beacon science that it was such that these modules, yeah, because I was already... I actually needed another beacon here. I took a beacon out to fit this thing in. I wonder if these guys are... I mean, they're all running. It looks like we're fine. I think we actually don't need that beacon at the back at all, because all of this looks like it's just getting everything done, and all of these cores are turning over, and that's all fine. Okay, sure. We're going to pretend that that's fine. This doesn't need to exist anymore. This doesn't need to exist anymore. We can clip all of these things out. That doesn't need to be there. That can be that little closed system. We can put all of these requests in. And hopefully we've got... Yeah, we still didn't have quite the number of logistics bots we wanted to, but it's probably fine. And now we are hopefully... I mean, UA 0 logistics bots. Okay, so that's the thing we're going to come back and do later. We are going to give these guys... Okay, I mean, also that's partly because we just dropped these requests in, and so we've got all of these requests for 1,000 copper each and 1,000 iron each. And now we've done that, we're actually... Okay, we may have enough logistics bots here, but we have... Yeah, a new strange and perpetual source of iron and copper, which is great. We have allegedly a sulfuric acid shortage, which could be interesting. Where is that station? That station is, yeah, this looking thing here, which is... Yeah, these guys aren't beaconed at all. This is an old thing. I was thinking about maybe using... I've got a station... Where is... It's this station here, isn't it? Yeah, this sulfur-producing thing, which used to be explosives, which we kind of don't need nearly as much explosives anymore, could be making a lot more acid, so maybe we get that to do more acid. There's also a thing we definitely don't need anymore, which is this old train fuel station, which is also sulfur-based processing, which could also make acid. So maybe that's another thing that we look at soon, but as it is, yeah, we're about to run out of acid, but we have at least boosted the blue chips. I want to check again whether... I just don't want to find out that these guys are running out of red chips, because not having enough red chips here will be a shame, because we also haven't filled up that tank as much as I would like. But yeah, we do have... Yeah, we've now got slightly more beacon cores. We've now got 11 yellow beacon cores as opposed to a 10. Yeah, because I guess we're delivering a lot of red chips here. Yeah, oh well. Yeah, we've got 11 yellow beacon cores as opposed to our 10 times science multiplier. Maybe we're processing tech. Let's see whether or not we're still actually blocked on blue tech. because we are not, which is nice. But I think we are blocked on lab speed. I think that's the other reason why all these things are piling up. Yeah, I was kind of expecting maybe 85 or maybe episode 80, even at the end of 84, to be, hey, the base is now doing what it needs to. We can just leave it for a while and like run around and potter about stuff and turn things on that need to be and tidy some things up. But there's still stuff to do before we are even at the point of having a base that is happily turning stuff over. Like, where is my science consumption? Yeah, this is short of blue science. This also looks like it's short of blue science. This looks like it's a train delivering some more blue science. Yeah, we've still got some things to worry about before the base is happily at the rate of science that it should be. So yeah, but we do have star engines, we do have more blue chips. I think I'm gonna plug in some more red chips in between episodes, because that's also going to be basically a copy paste of this. Actually, not quite. I want to do these beacons differently. But yeah, we'll do some more red chips in between. That'll be a pretty normal thing as well. Yeah, lots of stuff.